Welcome back to Master Your Glass. With 4th of July right around the corner, I wanted to show you how to make 3 delicious drinks that you can enjoy with family and friends. Far too often, this holiday is associated with red, white, blue drinks that are frequently cloying. They're all about their color and not enough about how delicious they are. They have ingredients that you purchase, and because you really can't do much with them, you're looking at them in your pantry for another year, waiting for the next 4th of July to use them, or other times you just use synthetic dyes with ingredients in them that I can't even pronounce. Well, not today. I'm going to show you a natural way to make these delicious drinks. By the way, please make sure you watch this video all the way through because the names of these drinks are going to shock you. Okay, so for our first drink, which of course is going to be red in color, I did a couple things. The first thing I did is I raided the cooler of beer, which is going to be at the party anyway, right? So I'm using an ingredient that I would have purchased already. I chose Modelo because Modelo is crisp, it's easy to drink, and it's going to do really well for a light and refreshing cocktail. I also made the syrup, and I'm going to leave the link below on how I made it. It's going to cost you about $5. It can be made in 20 minutes plus the cool down time, and it's going to give this drink a nice red natural flavor. I'm going to use this syrup, and I'm going to use this beer, and I'm going to use some bourbon to make a 3-ingredient cocktail. Okay, so I'm not stuck making drinks all day. I'm going to pre-batch and put these drinks available for guests to drink and friends to enjoy. And of course, I'll have to replenish once in a while, but that's part of the interaction of the fun party. I'm going to add a link below on where I purchased some of these wares here that are very easy, and they look swanky, but they are actually very inexpensive, so that if you don't have any, you'll have them available for the big party. Let's scoot this over. Let's set this aside. So starting with my pre-batch right here, this is going to be my first drink. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 part of bourbon. Set that right there. There we go. Set that back over here. Oh, I could smell that already. And then with that, I'm going to add 2 parts of the raspberry and red bell pepper syrup. I love this syrup because not only does it have that fresh, sweet berry flavor with its tartness, it also has a nice peppery flavor coming from the red bell pepper itself. So it's a 3-ingredient cocktail, but because of the diversity of the syrup, it's got a lot going on. Set that right there, and here we go. All right. Now upon service time, I'm going to top it up with the beer because I don't want the bubbles of the beer to go away. So at this point, all I'm going to do is cap this up and set it right here. Okay, we're going to set this beer aside for when we batch our first drink. The next drink I'm going to make is white in color. It's a frozen drink, and it might have a resemblance to a pina colada. But the pina colada is a classic of its own, and I do not want to confuse you, so forget I even mentioned it. I'm going to take my blender, and in it I'm going to add equal parts of the following. Ingredient number 1 is just going to be white rum. Those, the portions are going to be 4 1-cup portions. So I have 1 cup of white rum. You can also use a dark rum. A darker rum might give it a little bit more flavor intensity. However, if you wish the drink to be white in color, then a light rum will do the job much better. Then I'm going to have equal parts, again, of pineapple juice. That is also equates 1 cup, which, by the way, a can of pineapple juice is a cup, and unsweetened coconut milk. All right, there we go. Now we're also going to add 1 cup of vanilla ice cream, and what I've done here is I have pulled it out of the fridge. I often do this, or I mean out of the freezer, I should say, because I really want it to simply melt so that I can use it easier, okay? So now we have equal parts of rum, pineapple juice, unsweetened coconut milk, and a vanilla ice cream. Let's add a little bit of crushed ice. There's 1, and 2, and why not 3? Now let's take this to the blender. Very nice. Okay. I want this drink not to be as thick and icy as most frozen drinks. I'm looking at it to be a little bit more creamy, but still very much a liquid cocktail. So with that, I'm going to take my second container, pull this off, and pour in my white drink. This too, I'm going to want to add ice in it upon service time. And there's our second drink. Let me set this out of the way, and we will make our third one. Okay, so drink number 1 is red in color. Drink number 2 is white in color. Now it's time for drink number 3. I racked my brain in finding a blue ingredient that was natural, or something you've never seen before, and of course something that wouldn't be in your pantry all year long as you're waiting to use it again next year, and just learn from the hours I spent unsuccessfully going for it. I found nothing. So I was racking my brain trying to figure out what is a good ingredient that is associated with the color blue, that is vital and important and delicious and refreshing on a hot summer day where there's barbecue and rich food and a lot of alcohol. And I came up with nothing. But then I felt like that ingredient was almost staring at me, as if it was looking over my shoulder. And it was. So of course, water is associated with the color blue. It's natural, and I cannot express how important it is to be hydrated on a hot summer day when you are enjoying alcohol and enjoying food. So for our last drink, I'm going to make a blueberry infused water. Okay, so to make the blueberry water, of course, I am going to keep my carafe theme going. I'm going to just open the water, open the carafe. I'm going to take some ice. I'm going to put it in the carafe. I'm going to take some blueberries, pour them in. Oh, they fell. Then I'm going to take some more ice, continue to top it up. Okay, top with the blueberries. There we go. And then the water. Now this prepared 30 minutes before your guests show up will allow for the blueberries to actually give the antioxidants to the water. And then what you want to do is, in essence, you want to fill the water up right over the blueberries throughout the course of the day. So you're not going to reuse more blueberries. You're just going to top up the ones that are there with more water and make sure that it's served. So there is our third drink. We're going to add it right there. And of course, let's not forget our lid. All right, so now it's time to serve the drinks. Let's do it. Okay, so now it's time to pour our 3 drinks in a glass. I have these acrylic cups that I have purchased. I'll add the link below again. They're very cool, easy for indoor, outdoor celebrations like this. I'm going to take my glass. I'm going to grab my previously prepared batch, right? And if I were really having a party right now, I would actually fill this up with ice and pour it directly in. But another way of doing it is just like this, is filling up this glass about halfway and then grabbing my aforementioned beer Popping this open, topping it up, just like that. Okay, we're going to give these ingredients a little stir. Get that mixed up a little bit, just like that. And we're going to garnish very simply. Now, in Vegas, we have a lot of rosemary. Rosemary bushes are everywhere. So I'm going to use that ingredient. If you had another herb or something in the refrigerator, you can use that. It does not have to be, of course, a rosemary. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice lemon, just like that, and I'm going to cut a small, little, round slice, just like that, okay? Okay. Going to put this back here and set it over there. And now I'm going to add this right in here just like that. And then I'm going to grab my little rosemary bush, or I should say my little rosemary sprig. And this is drink number 1. Okay, let's move on to drink number 2. And here we go. Again, fill your glass with ice. Sometimes do it with a sense of humor. And I'm going to go ahead and pour my second drink. Might want to just give this a little mix, as of course the creaminess, especially of the ice cream, might start decomposing with all the other ingredients. And just like that, okay? We're going to put this in. Okay, now for this cocktail here, actually I'm going to fill it up more. Want it all the way to the top. Just like that. Okay. Now it's time to garnish this drink. Of course I want to play with the colors, and once again, use what you have. I, of course, have some mint. This is curvy mint season. It's a little interesting, but I'm going to just play with the colors. I'm going to put a nice little green mint top. And cherries obviously come in a darker and a more red variety or color. I'm going to put a red cherry right on top of there. I'm going to set that right there. And I'm going to put this drink right next to here. We're going to get this knife out of the way for now. We're going to wipe this because OCD is kicking in. And now it's time for the third drink. Okay, so for this drink, again, I'm going to leave the link below. It's the same glassware or plasticware company. I'm going to use a blue cup because, well, it makes for the blue drink and it's going to make my thumbnail look really good. So filling this up with ice. Just like that. I'm going to grab my blueberry water, fill it up for my guests, remind them to drink frequently, like so. Now, I really went out of my way to find the best blueberry water garnish, and that was more blueberries. And we will put it right here next to this one. Okay, so here are our 3 cocktails. Our first one will end up being 1 ounce of bourbon whiskey, 2 ounces of our raspberry and red bell pepper syrup, topped with the beer, a little stir, garnish how you wish, in this case, lemon and rosemary. Drink number 2 was a blended drink, equal parts of light rum, pineapple juice, unsweetened coconut milk, and vanilla ice cream, served over ice with mint and cherries, and our blueberry water, of course, garnished with blueberries. Now, the last thing, this is an important part, is what names should I give these drinks? Well, drink number 1, I racked my brain, I came up with it. It's called the red drink. Drink number 2, I also racked my brain, and I came up with it. It's called the white drink. And drink number 3, I racked my brain, and I could not find a name for it. So do me a favor, in the comments below, please tell me what you think we should call drink number 3. Now, if you like this episode, please hit like. If you're not part of the channel, please hit subscribe and come back to Master Your Glass for more expert instruction for everyday consumption.